And man, oh man, is he skittish. He does not want to come into this bait. He wants nothing to do with us. He's gonna be really, really hard to kill. I have no idea how we're gonna get him to come in.
If we were to rewind a few years back, you would find that this story actually began in the exact same tree stand, waiting patiently for the exact same bear. You see, way back in the spring of 2017, Jaden Sosnowski was hunting this stand when a giant old bear made an appearance. With light fading fast, she rushed the shot and hit him high and forward, leaving him with nothing more than a sore shoulder. When he returned later that spring, you could clearly see the large mark up near his neck, and we found ourselves referring to him as Nectar. As odd as it was, the name seemed to stick. Nectar was already a giant old bear back in 2017, but now 2 years later, he was the king of the forest in our area, and the one particular bear that we were focused on.
The boys checked this bait just yesterday, and we actually set it up a week ago, which is crazy because it is only April 12th, so it is officially the earliest we've ever hunted black bears. And Dana, you can kind of see him in the background there. He's setting up the tree stands. It's the same tree that we always set the stands up at this bait. It's a really great spot. Nice 20-yard close shot. And this big boar that Jaden actually shot 2 years ago, way high in the shoulder. He's been coming back year after year, and sure enough, he's the first bear at the bait this year. And he was actually just at the bait here right when we drove the quad in, so he's not very far away. And this is the time of the year that they're just going to keep coming and coming to eat because they just woke up recently and they're hungry. So I'm really excited because this is my favorite time of year to hunt bears. So we're just going to finish setting up these stands and we're going to climb up there, and hopefully our first night is a lucky night because that would be really awesome. As you can see, well, can't really tell there, but our quad seat is usually a black plastic bag because every single time we buy a new quad seat, it gets destroyed by bears. So well, we did not see him, which is surprising. I thought for sure we were gonna see him. But I guess that's just the way it goes. We did see another bear though. Definitely wasn't him. You can't mistake him because he has that huge scar on his shoulder. But we'll probably be out here again tomorrow, and if we don't see him again tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be out here the next day because he's definitely here. So we gotta keep on him until we connect on him if we can. So. We're here extra early. I don't even think it's 4 o'clock yet. I checked the time on my phone and I think it was about like 10 to 4 or something like that. So probably one of the earliest days we've ever been in the stand. But this bear, in the last week or so, has only been coming early, so it's our only hope.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Vortex Optics, Wood Wheaton Supercenter, Covert Scouting Cameras, Ole Smokes Coffee, Black Widow Innovations, and the MD of Bonnieville. This segment of the show is brought to you by Wood Wheaton Supercenter, a proud supporter of our outdoor heritage.
And then sure enough, we looked that way and he was sitting maybe like 80 yards away from the bait here. And man, oh man, is he skittish. He does not want to come into this bait. He wants nothing to do with us. He's gonna be really, really hard to kill. I have no idea how we're gonna get him to come in.
After that one single encounter in the past 2 years, it was obvious that we weren't going to get another opportunity at him from the same tree stand setup. He knew exactly where to look when he approached the area and immediately picked us out of the tree. I didn't like it, but our only hope was to set up additional stands in a much tighter, hidden location off the edge of the bait. It severely cut down on our shot angles and made filming almost impossible. But we didn't have many other options.
To our surprise, we actually snuck out of there that evening after he busted us. And he did come back later that night, and he has been here back a couple other nights. So he's still here. I wasn't sure if we spooked him out, but we had to come up with a different game plan. So Corey's actually up in the tree up there pulling those stands down because he knows that we're there. He's actually going to leave the shooter stand, pull the one stand down, and we're going to relocate to another thick spruce tree in a completely weird spot of the bait where he shouldn't be able to see us coming in. And I think we're going to be able to fool him that way. I think that's our only odds. So we're going to cut some limbs down and get up as high as we can in that stand. It's going to be tougher to get a shot at him. Like, we're not going to be able to see him on the bait very well. It's going to be not ideal. But when you're dealing with a bear that smart and one that clearly knows what's going on, you kind of have to take a couple extra steps. So once we kill him, if we can, then we'll go right back into our other spot for the stands. But that's the game plan for right now, and if it works, great. If not, Nectar will be the walking legend of the bush, because I don't know how to kill him if this doesn't work. So we got one more try, I think. He was here last night at 7:30. This bear's driving us absolutely insane. Every time we try something, he does the opposite. And we moved these stands the other day into a money spot. Came in and we saw 2 other bears. He didn't come in. Checked the covert after, and he was here an hour later. So, most of the time when we're hunting bears, here we are thinking that we're patterning the bears. But what's really happening in this situation is that specific bear is patterning us. And it's now a matter of trying to convince him that we're not here and making him fall for it.
Later that evening, a giant dark-faced bear materialized from the brush. It took me a few seconds to realize, but this was a bear that I had almost forgotten about. I knew he existed, but never planned on actually seeing him. He was an ancient old boar that historically buzzed our stand 2 or 3 times each spring on the covert camera, but we've only ever laid eyes on him one time back in 2016. To be honest, he was a ghost. I didn't have time to explain it to Darcy. She knew he was big and was focused on trying to get a shot.
a good shot, I think. I can't hear him running anymore.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Mad Ramps, Deluxe Wall Tents, Victory Archery, Top Notch Taxidermy Studio, Fedro Premium Ammunition, High Mountain Seasoning, iHunter, and Arkin RV. This segment of the show is brought to you by Vortex, the force of optics.
He was standing there for like a few seconds there, but he was totally quartering to me. So I didn't want to pull back. And then I pulled back and I was about to tension up my release, and he spun. And then I was like, okay, this is my chance. And then as soon as he spun, I let it go. So it was for sure a good shot. It was perfectly mid-body. It was not close to the shoulder blade. I've done that before. I'm pretty sure it's a good shot, and I don't think he went far. Hopefully not anyways. That is a huge bear. That's not Nectar, which is crazy, because Nectar is the bear that we've been hunting for like almost 2 weeks now. But that is a gorgeous, gorgeous black bear. Do you see the beautiful coat on him?
This is the bear Corey's been trying to kill for 3 years.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the small V bear.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he ran very far, but he's probably had about 15 minutes now. So we're gonna go try to see if we can find my arrow, try to find blood first, hopefully. And then hopefully he's not too far over there, because this bait is literally crawling with bears tonight. And I don't really want to be in the dark all night here with all these bears. So, I mean, they'll probably leave us alone, but you know, just to be on the safe side. So let's go see if we can find him. Seems like whenever we're tracking bears, it's in the pitch dark. It never fails. You know, it's just cool. We've done a lot of bear hunting, and you kind of get really familiar with them. Might not be the best thing, but they're usually more scared of you than you should be scared of them. You gotta be careful, but especially if there's a wounded bear. I haven't seen any blood in a while here. Can you? Oh, that's a big log. We might need to go back to the truck and get the chainsaw for that one. Just come this way. Let's find him first. The way this evening worked out was unreal. Like, we've been sitting for a bear we've named Nectar for almost 2 weeks now, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous bear as well. But this bear definitely tops Nectar, which is crazy. We actually only got a picture of him once on the bait so far, because it's so early in the season. It's only April 21st, which means that this is officially the earliest we've ever shot a bear. And then when this guy walked in right at last light, we knew he was a shooter. We knew he wasn't Nectar, and Dana instantly recognized him. Oh my goodness, he's heavy. Anyways, Dana recognized him right away, and we knew it was the bear that we've actually had pictures of for 3 years now. And we were pretty sure that he's been the dominant bear here in this area. So he is definitely a giant of the bush. And you can see, look how big his head is. Like, this is incredible. I'm out of breath trying to hold him here.
Let's have a look at that nice white V.
Oh yeah, he has this beautiful, beautiful mark on his neck here. Not a huge V, just a nice little V, but that's part of the way we recognized him, because that's the bear we've had pictures of for sure.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Deluxe Wall Tents, built in Canada for Canadian conditions. This segment of the show is brought to you by the MD of Bonnyville. Lake adventures happen here.
Well, camera, good luck. Try not to leave you here all winter again.
After Darcy connected on a giant old bear early in the season, I found myself bouncing back and forth between hunting Nectar and another old bear further north. Both bears seemed equally impossible to kill, as Nectar had stopped showing up completely, and the other bear had yet to show himself in daylight. Normally during the middle of the season, we find ourselves battling a lull between the early season rush and waiting for the rut to heat up. It's a slow, monotonous game of just putting your time in and hoping for them to slip up. There was nothing special about this particular night, but right as we were getting ready to pack up, I spotted movement in the distance.
Come on. He stopped right there.
Yeah, he stopped.
Yeah. So we're gonna see, I didn't see the PX2 pass through him. I actually seen that victory arrow punch into his shoulder on the opposite side because of the way he was turned. And then he rolled a few times. So pretty sure I know where he is, but we're gonna go and see if we can find blood and put our hands on him. Oh. Yeah, so the arrow did stick through and then he rolled and busted it. PX2's in perfect shape still. At that hole, that was an excellent shot. I like that. That's what I'm always so concerned with. Big paw on him, leaking blood. I worked up a heck of a sweat just trying to roll this thing out of the spruce tree. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure this is my biggest bear to date. He is an absolute beautiful bear. Giant old pumpkin head on him, huge body. Darcy and I, it took both of us everything we had just to roll him and get him half-assed set up here in a bit of a knoll. I don't like trying to stage our pictures and stage any of the videos, and we're not sitting way behind him. This is me right beside this bear, hand on there. But we had been chasing a bear we call Nectar for the last 3 weeks now, and we just couldn't connect on him. And Corey and I had been taking turns hunting this further bait to the north, knowing that this bear was here, but he was so inconsistent. And this time of year, it's a grind. You have to just keep sitting it out, putting your time in the stand. And they're not very consistent, but sooner or later they make a mistake. And there was just something about tonight, the way the sun went down, the wind was calm, the frogs were croaking, the first few mosquitoes were out. And so I told Darcy about half an hour, we'd kind of been talking and chatting in the stand, and I told her that we should really quiet down because there was just something about tonight that felt like this bear might make an appearance. And I guess there was a little bit of superstition or maybe just dumb luck, but he proved me right, so I'll take the credit for being lucky, I suppose. Oh no. We had a mishap. We are literally 200 yards from the quad, or from the truck. We had one mud hole to go to. This is our easiest bait to get into. And we just dumped this bear in the mud hole. I don't know how we're gonna get him out.